Probably six figs.
Yeah,
Probably six
you know what I'm
figs
saying?
for 8 years of
Compensating
experience.
for my time, man.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Day Bets with Alex Jacobs and Manny Ruffin. The Super Bowl is here. Finally, the week of the Super Bowl. Radio Row is kicking off this week. One of these years, we will get granted access to be there to be asking
Facts.
the fun and interesting questions to the players at the opening night. That was the last night, and that was the first and only time that we will see the two teams together in the same location until the big game. But before we get into Super Bowl and wide receiver and tight end props, and the People's Open, Luka Doncic was traded from the Dallas Mavericks
The actual fuck is going on?
to the Los Angeles Lakers, the craziest trade in history. Did we say,
I don't even know if there's been a crazier trade in any sport.
I was about to say, craziest trade in
off top-
history of sports.
The only I hate it because I feel like you Philly fans do. It happened to me, but the only thing I could possibly compare it to, and this is 10 times less magnitudes when we traded LaShawn McCoy for Kiko, and a conditional pick. And I try to put myself in the shoes of how I reacted when that happened, the devastation, the heartbreak, the sadness, the I don't want to watch the team anymore. All those feelings I had. Obviously, I was 11 years old, but bro, Mavs fans, when that shit dropped, some were getting ready to go to bed. Some were probably out at the bars.
That's where I was.
Some were probably fucking sleep, woke up the next morning and was like, I'm reading fake fucking news. That reaction in general, we can get to the trade, but the shock factor, was there, again, this could be free agency too, this is up here with the LeBron decision for me. The LeBron decision wasn't a surprise. Obviously, it was on TV and you could see LeBron's okay, he's making. But in terms of just the shock factor, it's up there with a lot. I looked at my phone for a good. You would have thought somebody died. I'm like, what? First of all, I'm it's RIP his soul, but it's almost like when Kobe died, where you look at your phone and okay, this is fake. I didn't even care that Shams tweet. I didn't care ESPN tweet. And I'm like, okay, some hackers fucking snapping. We've already seen what's going on in 2024, 2023. So I'm like, oh, some hacker is having a generational run right now for this 10 minutes. Then it was more networks keep dropping the tweet. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this is real, bro. There's just no fucking way you trade Luka Doncic. No? Am I tripping?
I didn't have anything to say. I just remember people around me were flipping out. Just my phone was in my pocket and they're Luka just got traded. Luka just got traded. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then they're he's going to the Lakers. And they traded AD and AD's going to be a Mav. And they're what are your initial thoughts right now? And I'm like,
I have none.
what? I couldn't find the words. I didn't know what to say. Because and you brought up a good point about players, just not in terms of the trade comparison, but comparing a trade for your team of somebody that you liked, and going back to your point of devastation that went. For me, for football, would probably be when Odell went to the Browns.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was upset that he went. I'm going on the factor of Mavs fans are devastated that Luka's gone. That was 77 was there. Obviously, different players. I'm just saying for the comparison of as a Giants fan, Odell.
I would compare it because Odell was very young when he got dealt, and he only had the one injury. It was only had the really one injury. It was the ankle, right?
And people out there are gonna say Saquon, but that doesn't count because it's not a trade. That doesn't count. I'm not counting that. Personally, I'm not counting that.
And there was time to prepare for that.
Right. But my initial thoughts were really just number one, why? Number two, how does this help you? And number three, I'm very curious to see how Luka and Bron are going to make this work.
Well, I'll try to address each of those questions. The why I'll get to last, just because I feel like there's a lot of theory there. What was your second question?
So, the first was why. The first question was why do this if you're the Mavs. The second is how.
How does this help you?
How is this help
I thought the craziest thing that Nico Harrison said in the fucking presser was, our future is 3 to 4 years from now. And I have a lot of theories and thoughts about this because how I've already been critical about the microwave theory in sports, mainly in football with young QBs, where it's we have 2-3 years to get this guy to where we think he needs to be and we got to move on. Is that leaking into basketball? And is it the microwave theory? Is this coming upstairs? Does he know that if he doesn't deliver in this couple year window, he's gone? If he doesn't do anything drastic, he's probably gone. I don't know. I think if you're a GM, and this is just me on the couch, I've never been in the front office, shouldn't you just play for the 10-year, 15-year, regardless of what's going on? Like, even if you know you're going to be there or not, the Warriors did it. You know what I'm saying? Where they're doing we're trying to plan for now and plan for later kind of thing. It's kind of blow up in their face now. But I'm so confused with this 3 to 4 year mindset thing of the future. And even with that, Kyrie and AD, 32, 31, I think. Like 3 years is generous for those. I'm not, and they probably can go. Physios, all this getting better. They probably could go 3-4 years, but that you're guaranteeing you're gonna have 3-4 years of prosperous basketball with them. Because your next question, how do LeBron and Luka work together? I think it's funny. I really think it'll work well. I don't think the Lakers are good enough to really showcase how good it could possibly be, but I think LeBron wanted to play the number 2 option role with AD. I think when they were paired up early on, especially, I think he was very vocal about that, to where how AD is supposed to take a lot of offensive pressure off of him. He wants to let AD shine, this, that, and the third. I think one thing that LeBron does a lot better than Luka, obviously, but off-ball cutting, slashing to the basket, he's a good fucking screener. I think energy output, if you've been watching some Lakers game late in the game, LeBron's been taking over. LeBron's been dropping triple-doubles. He's been banging on people. I think at least him being able to be more locked in on defense, not necessarily sitting in the stands, he's done it sometimes, but him being able to be more mentally locked in, because the thing about LeBron this year has been he hasn't been as locked in on defense. With Luka help, maybe he does lock in a little bit more on defense. And I think the Lakers play was obvious. Everyone's been saying it, and it's like the general blanket statement take, but like they have the now covered good enough as you can, and then their future. You assume you get another year and a half of Bron, and then you get 10 to 12, 13 years of Luka Doncic. Like, you cover all your bases here. The why is what's really fucking with my head. Because, and everyone's been talking about this, if they would have gotten a pick haul, 8, 9 picks that you would think Luka Doncic would deserve, then it's like, okay. Then they made this because they could get a crazy haul. Luka has some concerns, which I think are crazy, but it is what it is. But you only take AD, Max Christie, and a pick. What the fuck is going on? And then people were talking about the conditioning and shit. We were talking upstairs about how the Mavs owner took his beer from him and shit. Like, how much do you think there's just a rift between Luka Doncic and the upper management?
I just want to know if we'll ever know the full arguments and disagreements that they had, because it was conditioning, it was weight, it was arguing with refs or officials. There is so much more to play. Then it's reports coming out now of what Luka said prior to the season of they get rid of everybody I like. What?
There's been some theories that people were saying that they were doing this to isolate Luka. Like, I don't know. People were calling Nico Harrison a little egotistical. But yeah, I don't know.
He can't get the Supermax anymore that's close to $100 million that he's missing out on in Dallas.
Right.
You assume he gets some of that money back in LA endorsements.
My thing is, this is your most talented player of all time. He was on track slotted to be the best player you ever had all time. And that's heavily speaking, as you've had him, Jason Kidd, Dirk, you've had Nash. Like, he was going to be far and away the best Mav player ever. Second all-time points per game in the playoffs behind Michael Jordan. Western Conference Finals appearance, most minutes played the year prior. So even with the conditioning, like, that's where the conditioning thing gets in my head, where it's weird. It's like, this guy played the most minutes getting double-teamed across half court, double-teamed the entire playoffs. The production didn't go down. There's been massively stepping up in any big moment. The Rudy Gobert one shouts out at the screen for a young guy. And he's 25. Like, I don't have the exact age. I know someone listening is going to know this, but Kobe Bryant had a quote about how long it took for him to become like an actual pro, even though he had the work ethic, even though he was still a sicko when he was a young kid, but to learn how to be a leader of men on the team and like, listen, like, I saw my boy Zay posted on a story, which was a good point. Like, they were trying to rebuild the culture, but your culture is your best player. Like, it's Luka Doncic. That's a culture. He might not be ready to set the precedent of the culture right now, but for how good of a player he is, you don't want to wait till he's 28 or 27 to be like, all right, I'm ready to be a pro now. Like, what the fuck? I just think, and I don't know. Like, even if the Mavs win a championship this year or next year, I don't think it vindicates it. Because what if Luka goes on to become the greatest Laker ever? Like, then what the fuck did you just do? Like, it's just so confusing where I think there has to be something going on behind the scenes. We talked about when they took the beer out of his hands and, like, looked at him like, yeah, motherfucker, we talked about the shit in them. Like, there has to be something. He wasn't going to treatment or something, or does he have a sleep schedule problem or an eating problem or drinking problem? Like, there has to be something more than the fact that we thought AD fit our system of right now and our future of 3 to 4 years is there's way more. And like, I'm down to hear all the conspiracies. I think they're interesting, but I really don't have any.
It also raises the question, as we're now seeing circulate reports and rumors around the NBA, that nobody's off limits, I guess, at this point.
No one's off.
That's what that means.
Insanity.
You have Shams saying on the McAfee show that, you know, the Warriors are calling basically every All-Star.
Yeah, at this point. That's why. That's where the conspiracy thing gets in my head, right? Because when we were talking upstairs, I'm like, Shams literally said on Pat McAfee, he was fed a different player from both the teams, Lakers and Mavs, and was alerted there was a trade between these two players that he will not name that obviously were nowhere near important as Luka and Anthony fucking Davis, to throw a smoke screen up so he can't report it. So I guess other GMs can't make a call in saying, hey, we'll offer this more. Like, there has to be something. I'm pretty sure Rob Pelinka has a relationship with the Bulls or the Kings front office. I think it was the Bulls front office that helped them as a third team to get this trade through. Like, was there like a favor owed here or something? Like, I feel like there's something that you get on the 30 for 30 in 20 years. Like, yeah, I owed Rob Pelinka a favor, gave him fucking Luka Doncic. Like, I am so mind blown on the how. And then I don't think there's anything you could like, I know how good this Mavs roster is right now. They're going to be very good. I can't say where they slot in the West without watching them play for a long time, but on paper in the West, they could still hang with anybody. The teams they were beating without Luka was still like, they're beating anyone without Luka. So, okay, they'll be good. But everyone knows that there has to be more under the surface, and I'm really interested to see how it comes out in the later years, I guess. I don't think it's going to come out this year, so I'll say years to come. But there has to be something more. And, like, what does happen if Luka does go to the Lakers and he does the Zion thing where Zion, you're playing now, but does the foot injury, I won't play, conditioning, I won't play, coming to camp out of shape. Like, what if they do inherit the same problem? I guess they'll be vindicated, but I don't know, man. Giving up on a 24, 25-year-old, arguably best player in the league, arguably most talented player in the league. And if you want to say that his problem is conditioning and buy-in on defense, I've heard the same things about Jokic. Conditioning off-season, buy-in on defense, and listen, there was a lot of possessions where Luka got picked on versus the Boston Celtics, who anyone can say last year far and away would have beaten anyone in the league. Okay, you don't think we can work on that? I feel like I saw possessions, and I talked about with Prop Holiday, and he said the same thing, that at least there was times with his post defense, at least that he was buying in and being active. You don't think over the time of years and taking losses in the finals, he's going to figure it out and be like, I got to buy in more? Like, I feel like Jokic went through a similar arc. He blew a 3-1 in the league before in the bubble. Like, I don't know, man. It's so mind-blowing, and I really feel for Mavs fans. I don't know how the fuck you guys are feeling. You probably still love the team, and there's probably going to be some unfair hate. I've seen people calling AD street clothes. He hasn't had injury problems in like 2-3 years, guys. We got to put that name away.
We had quotes of Mark Cuban surfacing.
Right.
With he would get a divorce before getting rid of Luka.
Now, he did sell. I think he sold a lot of his stake in the team.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think he had anything to do with it.
I agree. And he didn't. I just think it's crazy how
fucking hilarious.
This is now coming out where if he was still a big part of this ownership and this team, that never would have happened.
Actually so Cuban sold his stock or stake, whatever the fuck you call it, a couple years ago. This was pretty recent, right? Nico Harrison was signed as the GM in 2021. Nico Harrison also, maybe in the back of his head, I'm just speculating, knowing he wants to move from Luka Doncic, fires the strength and conditioning team that Luka's been working with his entire career. Now, Mark was getting older. His career was long. But was there a point where Mark was like, yo, this Nico guy is a little unhinged off the rails. He wants to do whatever the fuck he wants to do. I got to get out of this fucking place before it becomes a fire. And I've already said how untouchable Luka was. Was there words that, like, Nico Harrison was not very fond of Luka years ago? Like, this is crazy to me, thinking about it more and more. Like, Cuban sold his stock very recently. And he loves the like, I thought he was going to die with them motherfuckers. Nico Harrison, listen, brother, you know what I'm saying? This is the move of your career. Motherfuckers get fired about this and never resurface again over shit like this.
The target that you just put on yourself, your head coach.
Yep. Yeah, bro.
The team as a whole this is either going to be one of the greatest moves ever, or what you just said, career defining.
What would it have to be? This is the final thing I'll say. What would it have to happen for us to assume this trade is good for the Mavs? Like, I don't even think one championship.
I was about to say, I don't think there's like.
I don't even think one championship is enough. I think you have to legit win multiple championships, and Luka has to decline. Have a Grant Hill type of injury where he's not the same for us. I think if you win one championship, but the Lakers still have Luka,
it doesn't justify
with all the possibilities that come with that. I don't think it justifies it because you could just, bro. You guys attracted Kyrie Irving when Luka was 23, 24. Who the fuck is Luka going to attract when he's 28, 29? Anyone's going to want to play with fucking Luka in LA. Yeah, I don't. I think you have to win a championship or two, and Luka has to turn into Grant Hill, and that's the only way you look at this as a win. And if they know that for a fact, Nico Harrison, you are a genius. You're in Howie Roseman fucking tier of GMing, but I don't think I don't know, man. Maybe he's starting his Howie Roseman arc. Maybe this is the start of it. We don't know more than he knows. So Nico, you got it. They are following the two big man meta I told you about. So maybe this is an important thing that people are really highlighting. I don't think so.
Lakers have slotted themselves as into the top 6.
That's crazy.
For finals championships odds at plus 2,000 to win it all.
Who they leapfrog? Leapfrog the Rockets? Leapfrog Memphis? They leapfrog
Bucks.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still I don't think there's the best. They're not the best team in LA right now. I don't think so. I think the Clippers are deeper.
And then at the end of the month in February, the Mavs visit the Lakers.
Is it still 4.5?
Yep. These odds are already out on FanDuel.
I low-key would want... So you could take the score 30 out of Luka. Damn. I low-key like the Mavs in this spot.
I don't.
I kind of like the Mavs.
That's probably the smarter bet just because you know everyone's going to just be
betting. And they've already played
Lakers.
Well versus all these great teams without Luka anyway. So this doesn't mentally do anything to them. They feel like they're at full strength. I would kind of like the Mavs here. I don't think it'll be 3.5 at tip. 4.5 at tip. I don't think so. Oh my God. And it hasn't moved. I looked at this when the trade happened. It was 4.5. That might be the play.
I mean, look, we still have exactly 3 weeks until this game.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see if that changes at all. But yeah, the Mavs are now plus 4,100 to win the chip.
Does David Stern veto this trade? He vetoed CP3.
That's true.
Does he veto this fucking trade? I mean, it's just so egregious. 24-year-old, best player we've seen at his age in a very long time. Obviously, Wemby's here now.
Well, I saw a tweet talking about when Durant was traded from the Nets, and there was 9 firsts in there, 2 swaps, there was 4 seconds in there, and we're getting a 2029 first out of this.
The De'Aaron Fox trade, there was at least 5-6 picks, not all first-rounders. Rudy Gobert, wasn't that 4 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert? You guys had to give up, the Knicks had to give up their young capital, and I think a pick. I think it was a second, but a pick for OG Anunoby. We're getting Luka Doncic for AD, and AD, it's not like you're just 32 years old. AD and just 1 pick, I think it was, or was it no picks or something like that?
2029 first.
My God, like that is insane, man. Like, what are we gonna get for Joel Embiid? You feel me? I'm joking. We ain't trade. What are we gonna get for Joel Embiid at this point, dog? Like, fuck. Is his
more
market,
minutes, hopefully.
Is his market fucked now? Yeah, right. It's no more PTO. Like, he got his fucking PTO off. He plays tonight, I think. So versus the Mavs, which is funny enough. And
I know. That's what I think. That's what I think's funny about.
We just got fucking Quentin Grimes from the Mavs for Caleb Martin, which is. Caleb Martin's been hurt and inconsistent, but I think his playoff pedigree was enough for me to want him to stay around. I like his versatility. I think QJ was playing himself into a lot of money this year, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it was an interesting trade. But we do play the Mavs tonight, and Joel Embiid does play.
I do think it's funny though for AD. He was just there.
Yeah.
On Wednesday of last week.
Yeah.
And then played one. I think it was he obviously didn't play because he got injured in that game.
Yeah.
But he traveled to the Knicks and then gets traded that night, and then it's going right back to Philly.
I don't like. What does he do? Like that. The process for AD. I mean, both of them. Like you said, Luka just bought a $15 million fucking house in Dallas. Like, what is his process looking like? Moving his family to LA. I assume he has a lot of his family here. Like his dad's here. I assume the rest.
And that's the other thing that like we don't know about these trades of how it affects the players too. Obviously, with
Luka's entire and probably
estate.
AD too. AD because AD's been there in LA for a while. AD and Luka's entire life was probably in their respective cities, which is just
insane. Real estate. family was there, and then, just you automatically join the team in a 2-day span after getting traded.
And it's like little shit too, right? Like,
where do you stay? Do they have him set up somewhere? Is he gonna live in a hotel for those games? Is he gonna stay with Bron?
Like, I'm not saying like it's little things, right? Like, too, I'm not saying Saquon goes to Sligo, but it's like how you saw Saquon at Sligo. Like, what if we don't know about it, but Saquon and his homies get the upper room at Sligo, like whatever Saquon wants, and they can just go have drinks like unbothered, like. Barber he has in the area, like the little restaurants that AD and Luka go to that they can just section off, and their barber and their fucking where they go get their fucking clothes tailored and suits tailors, their designers, how these guys are just like so much shit for them changes in fucking one night, which is almost more fascinating. Like, and it's funny thing because I was talking about Don DiVincenzo was talking about this, where he was like, I literally had to move my family and everyone and my girl. I have a newborn baby from New York to Minnesota, and like my first week here is on the road.
Yeah.
Like, AD is going through the same fucking thing where it's like, I'm trying to move my entire fucking life from one city to another, but my first full week is on the road. Like, it is.
And I gotta focus. I gotta try to
lock them. We're in a playoff hunt.
All of my focus into the game when I'm trying to get everybody else situated in the new city.
Nah, it's fucked, man. So I feel bad for both those guys. Obviously, probably was a shock trade. AD looked really comfortable in LA. Luka looked super comfortable in Dallas. So it definitely is unfortunate. And I think it's unfortunate for AD. I think he's going to get a lot of unfair hate. I mean, they're still calling him street clothes. Guy, I mean, he has them double strain right now, but he probably could play if he wanted to. Hasn't had injury problems in years, man. That guy's going to be okay. Kyrie AD, that's a 2K my GM fucking duo right there. Interesting to see how that plays out.
Interesting how that plays out. Interesting how the People's Open plays out this weekend in Phoenix.
Do we rip a Joel Damon future for the fuck of it? Why not? He takes his shirt off on fucking 16 anyway.
Another one of the destination spots in all of sports, not just in the golf world, is out in Phoenix, in Scottsdale, at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, where Scottie Scheffler is plus 280 to win his third.
That's not okay.
In the last 4.
Didn't know that was his first. That was his first tour win as well.
Oh, interesting.
2022 was his first tour win. 280's fucking crazy, man.
So I was looking at a couple, just some numbers here. You have Scottie Scheffler at 280, Justin Thomas at plus 1,200, Hideki Matsuyama at plus 1,600. Tom Kim is plus 3,000, and he's 14th on tour in proximity. So on a course like this, getting the ball close, hopefully knock a couple putts down like he has been in the TGL. So there's possible plus 3,000 there. I did read up on Wager Talk that the rough is 3.5 inches this year versus the 2-inch long rough last year.
Oh my
be much
God.
More important to keep the ball in the fairway. Ball striking is going to be a key stat this week.
Psychotic.
Yep. And then winning scores were 14 under to 19 under the last 10 years of this tournament, besides last year when Charlie Hoffman and Nick Taylor were 21 under when they went into that playoff. And then here's the betting trend that I'm going to be following from Wager Talk. Each of the last 9 winners finished tied for 7th or better at this event in a prior start. There are 23 players in the field that have fit that tagline of finishing tied for 7th or better. One of my picks is plus 4,500. That's Sahith Theegala.
I have him on my list as well.
Who in 3 years he's finished in top 5. He missed out in a 2022 was the heartbreaker, hits the ball in the water. Yep. I think there's life there. He finished tied for 39 last year, and this is going to be, kind of in Scotty territory where 3 of the last 4 years you could finish high. His would be, winning it here at plus 4,500. I think right off the bat, I'm not very good at golf betting, especially picking a winner, but following this trend here of the last 9 winners finishing tied for 7th or better at this event in a prior start, Sahith fits that bill. I'm going to go there at plus 4,500.
Nah, yeah, he does. You said he had the second in 2022. I'm pretty sure he had a top 5 there as well. Not
last
as
year.
Good 2 years or last year, 2 years ago, whatever it was, but prior success there. And then he hasn't been great this year. I think he's one of the players that, especially in a W1 Phoenix Open, hasn't had a lot of success, looking for a good event, coming to a place where you are already a fan favorite. Crowd's probably going to be on his side. If he can get the crowd on his back early in the week, I think he could be a very nice momentum play. What course, where this is a country club? So I have a country club question. Like, so when Wilmington Country Club is hosting the BMW, right? They're doing renovations and shit like that on the course for a very fucking long time. But you can I'm thinking about this rough thing. They can just grow the rough like not that long before the event, right? Like I'm thinking about members. Like, are there members playing out there?
You just don't cut it down as much as you normally do. It just makes it like insanely hard. I mean, of course.
No, I'm just saying that like. Okay, so on the so Thursday or Wednesday when the practice round starts, they'll just not cut the fucking rough.
Or they've been. It just depends on how long they've been doing it. This might have been a decision that they made coming into this
a long time ago.
And again, it's warm all year round out there. Yeah. So like, it's not like coming into as soon as we get out of winter, we're gonna stop cutting it. Like, it's warm in Arizona year round. So this was maybe a decision that happened right after last year's tournament. I don't know when the decision was made, but from a 1.5 inch difference of rough, that's going to be a huge play. And a lot of the things that I was seeing on social media and different articles was how key ball striking is going to be. There's a bunch of different numbers and crazy different decimal stats that you can look at for certain players in terms of ball striking that is too much for me when it comes to golf betting. But
it's so funny because this is how I know I'm a casual golf bettor. So my thought process when looking at this was like, you're gonna have to pick a ball striker, and it was only because I saw like the prior scores. I saw the 21 under for Nick Taylor. I seen a couple of the ones that Scotty posted. I saw like a 19 under that posted as a win a couple years ago. So I'm like, oh, you're gonna want a ball striker. So I was looking at like the OWGR website. They have some good things, and I saw some very nice odds for my boy Sepp Straka. Can you check it? I think it's like plus 5K still.
4,500.
4,500 for Sepp, and he finished close in the event already this year. I think it was second, had a high score, got seventh at Pebble. I'm pretty sure it was
last week.
Was playing well throughout the week. Was leading for a long time. This guy, I remember we were watching. I think it was John Deere. Was it last year when he broke the record for most under par throughout 4 rounds? Like, I just from what I saw from him and thinking with the high score thing that I was seeing, like, if this motherfucker gets hot for plus 4,500, and then I'm seeing this rough thing, I saw a stat when I was looking into him. He's like 5th in driving accuracy. He's like 6th in fucking birdie percentage. Like, he's been kind of on fire to start the year. If it's a ball striker tournament, is it a Sepp Straka angle, like a plus 4,500? I also saw your guy. I didn't think JT's odds would be that low.
I didn't either.
Was he not plus like 1,200 or something like that? But I also read something that he was top 10 in 4 of his last 10 starts. JT hasn't won an event literally since we fucking sweat out that win he had on what was it? Was that St. Jude or was that or one of those BMW or one of those fucking FedEx Cup events? The last one he won. No, it was a PGA Championship. That's what the fuck it was. 2022 PGA Championship. Hasn't won an event since then. And him being a fan favorite, kind of an antics guy, get the crowd into it. If he gets hot, I don't like plus 1,200, but maybe if I get a good Sunday price from him. And then one guy I wanted to ask you about last was, or two, because of the ball striking thing. So Hideki, you already brought him up at plus 1,600. I mean, he gets hot ball striking, it could be a problem. But Tom Kim, and I only thought about this because this is just a dumb casual better angle. We were talking about Rory with the TGL thing. Is this keeping him warm throughout the week? Like he's getting to play on a competitive, but like it's a fun. I'm kind of locked in around the golf on a Monday or Tuesday. Then I go to Wednesday and I'm already still kind of warm. Maybe worked out some kinks in the practice for the fucking TGL. Tom Kim was hooping in TGL last week. Played pretty well. I think he fell off on the weekend at Pebble, but played pretty well. Was in the mix. He's another guy who gets plus 4,500. I feel like he's another guy that's a crowd favorite that if he could get hot, I might take it. There's a couple 45. Like I like your Sahith. I might take 3 4,500s. I might take Sahith Sepp and fucking what's his name, Tom Kim for like $10 on fucking Thursday, and just hope one of the guys are in the mix on Sunday. Like I think those angles might be pretty good.
On BetMGM from John Ewing, Scotty Scheffler has 19% of the money, which is most on this tournament to
for
win.
A future, bro. 20% of the bettors, which is like right, but fuck.
And it's probably right just because, again, you know, 1-2 out of the last 3 years.
Hell yeah.
Going for another one. It's just so awful to have a 4-day event.
Yeah, plus 280.
Plus 280.
Yeah, fuck no.
It's just terrible.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it may be right. But let's remember,
probably.
Nick Taylor was plus 18,000 last year. 180 to 1. Like... Yeah. Are we going to see another one of those again?
I think
that's what I'm scared of.
I think you kind of have to take a shot with the long shot in this kind of tournament. You know what I mean? And some of these guys that are higher in odds, I don't really like. Justin Thomas being 1,400 is crazy to me. Sam Burns being 2,500 is crazy to me. Like, what book was Sep Straka at plus 2K? That means I gotta take him fucking now.
Well, there he is now, Sep at plus 4,500.
There's the Rasmus Hogard fucking cat. Isn't that Nikolai's fucking twin or some shit like that? Yeah, he was hooping for, was it 2 days last week? He was up there at the top of the leaderboard. I think you gotta take a long shot. Leader after round one. Whoa,
leader after round one is
we could get weird.
Fun bet because you essentially almost get like tournament winner odds for leader after.
Wait, this is a Sep Straka angle. This is something that Sep Straka would do. I feel like I see him leading after round one a lot, bro.
Or this is where you get the best value you're going to see for the tournament for Scottie Scheffler.
That's true.
Plus 1,200.
But Scottie, I don't want to say too crazy because he's won way too many events for me to say this. But is he a wire-to-wire guy? I don't think he's a wire-to-wire. Like, from what I've seen from Scottie, and listen, guys, you know what I'm saying? I'm not Colt, whatever his fucking name is. My fault. What's his last name? Legend. God damn it. Colt Nost. I'm not Colt Nost. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Scottie loves being like a stroke or two back. You know what I'm saying? On Friday, have a big moving day. And then, I don't know, but you can get him plus 1,200. You're telling me at the WM where it's like there's going to be 2.5 inch rough or whatever the fuck it was. Probably a lot of people with day one are probably going to be struggling adjusting to the course. You get Scottie plus 1,200 day one, I'd fucking like it. Scottie 10-1 for anything. You can fucking sign me up. No cap.
Like I think that'll be worth something that I'll probably just end up putting in.
Who's a good long shot here?
For leader after.
What's Sahith's odds? I feel like he could come out to a hot start.
Same, again.
Plus 4K.
4,500 for Sahith to be the leader after round one. And again, Sahith to win the tournament is plus 4,500.
Yeah. Sep at plus 5K? Like, what the fuck? Hideki, I feel like is another name that he loves a good
Hideki's
first day
plus
out.
3,000.
Bro, I feel like there's been so many times I've looked at my phone during a tournament and Hideki, like, day one, 10 under. Like, what the fuck did Hideki do? And then he doesn't win it, but
I just want to, like, I just hope that there's more stuff that we can actually.
We have groups?
More prop stuff. Like, you know, where's hole-in-one bets? Where's, you know, like, something that, you know, there's tournament specials on FanDuel. You can do, like, Scottie Scheffler to finish top 5 is minus 185.
So, but, like, do we need to be doing more of, like, and I'm thinking about this for, like, let's say.
Like, just future events, you mean?
Yeah, let's just say, I'm looking at Tom Kim, he has decent odds. Let's say we just like Tom Kim a lot. Like, scroll down to the top 20. Like, what if you do 20, 10, and top 5? Like, is this how we need to be profiting? Like, you like someone for a tournament. Like, all right, I'll take him 20. I'll take him for top 10 plus. Like, it's almost like a ladder fucking theory. Then you take him to win the fucking thing.
Like Sahith at plus 145 to finish top 20. I really like that.
And then you take him fucking top 10 at like plus 4 or plus 300, whatever it is.
And then you could do like you could do a parlay with Tom Kim at top 20. That's plus 414.
Right.
I'm just mainly talking like just trying to find value.
Well, yeah, trying to find value. If you like Sahith to get top 20, you might as well take it. Like, look at his odds for 10. We're already going to be at 400. I guarantee he's probably 400, bro.
320.
Yeah, and then look at him for fucking top 5.
And then Sahith top 5.
Like, that's a nice little, like, he was like plus 600.
650.
Yeah, like, that's a nice, like, you just put your biggest wager on fucking the top 20. If he gets that, you cover the top 10, 5, and the win, bro. That might be the angle.
Just to try to find, because again, like, you know, I don't think we're both the top golf bettors at all. So just trying to find a way to be profitable in picking guys to win tournaments. But this is the People's Open, the crazy amount of.
What is this groups thing? Like, what is this group? Do they have groups already? That's what I'm fucking confused about.
I think it's just, I don't really know like how.
Like, so the best finishing position out of these guys. Wait, that's so fucking sweaty and fun. You could just take Sahith in this group of guys if you want him. I'd probably take Sep, but Sahith at those odds are fucking interesting.
Plus 360 in Group B with
Tompkins, Sep,
Straka,
Corey's a sleeper. He could have a weekend. You don't sleep on big Corey Connors. Akshay in this group with Rasmus, Bobby Mack.
And Spieth.
Whoa, at plus 400?
I just want to see, like, you know, I hope as we get later in the week.
LPGA? Hold on. Hold on. I can take Nelly Korda for real?
Nelly Korda and Sahith to win.
What? Sneaky Charlie Hole plus 2K for the value. Rip a dart for me on it.
FanDuel was also offering, some. It's like win without Scotty's in there.
That. I don't understand what that means.
It just takes Scotty out of the tournament, and you're betting without Scotty. So Justin Thomas is plus 900 as the favorite then.
So, but my thing is, if Scotty wins, like that's what I'm thinking. Like, what happens? So
if who? It depends on who's the highest. So if
Scotty
wins,
the highest, no matter.
So if Scotty wins and Justin Thomas gets second,
I feel like that's such a not such a robbery. You're basically betting for second, but man,
it's just finding
that's such a weird way to bet. I feel like.
Right, but especially in this tournament when he's chasing 3 wins in this tournament out of the last 4 years.
It's plus 280.
And then obviously cross sport specials on FanDuel. Since this is Super Bowl weekend with the Waste Management Phoenix Open.
Find me a Birds one.
Saquon Barkley to win Super Bowl MVP.
Why did they do that? No, see, that is bullshit. That is why I hate. Why did you put Jordan Spieth in that motherfucker?
Okay, so how about this one?
Bro.
How about this one? Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl and Scotty Scheffler to win the Open.
Nope, can't take it. That's rotten. Well, is that not? Wait, are you fucking?
How about this?
No. You're okay with that? You're okay with them linking up? The most possible outcome for the Eagles with Jordan Spieth top 10. What the fuck?
I kind of like this one. 50 points scored in the Super Bowl, and both Justin Thomas and Tom Kim to finish top 10.
You like that?
Plus 1,400.
Jordan Spieth. Oh, that's Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas and Tom Kim.
Okay. I was still mad about Jordan Spieth.
Finish top 10.
I like that a little more, but I had to get 2 guys in the top 10. I get plus 14. That is wrong. What is fucked?
Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl and either Tom Kim or Sahith Theegala to win the Waste Management Phoenix Open. These are 2 guys that we just spoke about.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
And that is plus 4,000.
I kind of like that. I like the one right under it, too.
You may have to take that
There's one right under it that I kind of like.
Saquon Barkley to score the first touchdown and Scotty Scheffler to lead after the first round.
I didn't see. I thought that was 1 touchdown. Oh, that's corny.
I think that, for Eagles fans, this is the best bet here. Eagles to win and either Tom Kim or Sahith Theegala to win the Waste Management Phoenix Open.
That gets a cosign.
Plus 4,000.
Keep scrolling. No, I feel like what can we find here that's fucking insane?
Jalen Hurts to score 2 rushing touchdowns and Justin Thomas to win.
Bro, why do they link up the Eagles one with Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth? Like, I don't want to bet on those fucking guys, bro. What the fuck? Give me some Birds and Scotty. No, wait, do the books just know? Wait, the only people that got linked up with Scotty were the Chiefs. So do the books just know the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl? Like, low key, or is that not even like...
I don't know, because, like...
Are they scared to take that?
Scotty's the favorite to win by a large margin.
What's Scotty and the Eagles to? That gets fucking weird.
Scotty Scheffler.
Wait, can we do an insane parlay? Like can we make like an insane? That's insane. That's bettable. That's bettable.
Eagles to win the Super Bowl and
degenerate.
Scotty Scheffler
That's
to
degenerate.
Win, plus 667.
At 667 for some reason for me that's bettable. Can we look though? Like, can we do not a result, but can we like add like a TD score? Like, do we make this a weird sweat here?
Of this leg right here.
With Scotty in there, but no result. Like, take the Eagles out of it.
Scotty to win.
Like you say like a AJ or not like a yeah. Oh yeah, where you scrolling to? Yeah, you'd say Sunday sweat of the fucking century.
Scotty Scheffler to win and DeAndre Hopkins to score a touchdown.
No, like, can you?
I can't take the favorite to win a golf tournament. I can't do that.
Okay, but you're getting 2K at this point. Who fucking care? Who fucking care? You're sitting there on Sunday. Scotty is 1 stroke up in the. Oh wait, no, the game's gonna start after the fucking weekend because it's gonna be 6:00 West Coast.
No, they'll be
no,
like
finishing. West Coast. So Scotty's finishing up.
Not even, because it'll be 3:00 over there. They'll still have some time.
Bro, that you were.
He may be on like 14, 15.
You were on the precipice of a legendary Sunday sweat. I hate like D-Hop's probably not going. What is it with like Dallas Goedert? Is that sneaky?
Plus 1496.
That's bettable, bro. Don't Smitty's plus 200. Like, I might just take Smitty to score. I think I might do it with Smitty, bro. I think you should get crazy though and take an Eagles and a Chiefs. Like if you're just gonna throw a lottery ticket out there, like, all right, let me not do. But that at plus 1100, I'm not. No. He's not scoring. He's not scoring. Like unless I'm. Am I drawn? Am I out of pocket? You actually like Pacheco. When we were doing the running back thing, you think Pacheco's gonna get some, and I think it's gonna be Kareem Hunt. I don't know. So I'll keep you open on that. I think you could get this at plus 1100, which is already a crazy enough sweat for me. Shit, you take Jalen Hurts to score. So all right, so let me get weird. Like if I put Saquon Barkley in this, is it plus 500? Like how much does he nuke it?
Plus 480.
That's.
I don't know if that's bettable. We're betting on. I don't care that it's Scotty Scheffler. It's plus 280 to win a 4-day golf tournament.
Wait. Okay, I understand plus 480. I would definitely need
even
10 to 1.
Even just plus 280 for Scotty to win.
I would need 10 to 1, but like we're getting into bettable territory. What's Jalen Hurts? Do we get to 600? Like I need 700.
Plus 610 for Jalen Hurts to score and Scotty Scheffler to win.
I can start making some decisions. Some decisions here. But yeah, it's too degenerate. Like it's way too degenerate.
One of the best weekends of golf because it collaborates directly with the Super Bowl. As the Super Bowl is starting, you're seeing the last finishing holes in the Waste Management Phoenix Open.
We're drawing.
Huge weekend ahead.
We're drawing. Does this fall on the same weekend every year? Yeah, we're drawing, bro. We're drawing.
Like last year.
What a day. No, what a day that is. What a day. You're on the West Coast, so you probably don't have to get to the country club until like what?
Well, listen.
10, 11 West Coast
But
time?
think about this, though. When the Eagles and Chiefs last played in the Super Bowl, it was in Phoenix. Bro. So what I knew from what some Eagles fans that I know did is they flew out. They did Saturday at the Phoenix Open, and then Sunday they went to the game.
Like, yeah, that's insane. That's insane. But like, even just from this year's standpoint, like, even like next year, just even if you're not going to the game, like, bro, you're in fucking Phoenix. You probably play an early morning round somewhere, lounge, drink, go to the Phoenix Open, lounge, drink, go watch the game in Phoenix. They said the Phoenix ratio to women and men is very favorable for the fellas. You go out to the bars for Super Bowl. Like, we need to do that. We need to do that. And knowing my luck, I'll probably have a girlfriend by fucking February next year, so I won't be able to do it the way I want to do it. But for now, I have to plan that I think I want to do that. That'd be a fucking crazy trip.
The NFL Honors is this week prior to the Super Bowl, as it always is. And we just want to highlight some of these names for these top awards, like the MVP, like the Offensive Player of the Year, like the Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, Coach of the Year is in there as well. For the MVP, the conversation still stands if Saquon deserves to be the MVP in a quarterback award. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson favored as well. Looking at VegasInsider.com for these odds, Josh Allen minus 300, Lamar Jackson plus 240. Saquon Barkley plus 1,800. Those are your top three.
Why are they dropping like that?
I don't know what the exact odds are. He was like
plus 5 something when the season ended.
But we can no longer see these odds on FanDuel or DraftKings. That's closed. So I'm eager to see if they're still changing in real time. This article from Michael Croson was updated yesterday morning. So you have Josh Allen at minus 300. Is there a way that Saquon can get this at plus 1,800? If there was ever a season for a running back to get this award, the last time it was AP, and I think it was 2012.
What a season.
It would be this season for Saquon Barkley. He's already changed for multiple running backs what the market is.
Facts.
He's changed the outlook of what this potential of this award could even be. Mm-hmm. But even when you look at it, because I'm still on the point of looking at it from last year with Tyreek Hill. Where would the Dolphins have been without Tyreek Hill's season where he was chasing 2,000 yards? Mm-hmm. You can say that for the Eagles as well. Where would the Eagles be without Saquon Barkley this year? People will be like, yeah, they'd be a playoff team. Well, since week 4, they've ran the ball most in the NFL, and they've thrown the ball least in the NFL. So they're heavily favoring Saquon Barkley to carry that offense. So without him, where are they? How is Saquon not even a remote possibility to get MVP? And everyone's going to be like, well, you know, the quarterback position is the most valuable on the field. Rightfully so. I understand that. But Saquon Barkley's putting up 2,000 yards. He would have broken the record if he played in the last game of the season. Plus 1,800. I feel like this should have been the winning bet at the beginning of the season. Saquon Barkley should win MVP. He already won the fan vote. He won the players' vote. What more do we need to see? What more does a running back have to do at this point? And how has this award changed since 2012 when AP won it?
Yeah, I have to go back and look at what the fuck.
Because it's not possible now for a running back to get it.
I'd have to look at what the fuck was going on in 2012. Because, like, fuck. I mean, that's Rick Brady.
I know that Lamar, like, you know.
Bro, I mean, Lamar and Josh are both also respectfully having fucking historical seasons.
Absolutely.
I think that's, like, might be the only thing. Like, people were saying CMC didn't win it. Obviously, Tyreek Hill didn't win it. Cooper Kupp didn't win it in his triple. But, like, for some reason, this could be just dumb, but I feel like last year, with Lamar's last MVP, do they give it to Saquon? If the criteria, if it's the same season, Saquon's having this season and Lamar's having the season as last year, like, I don't know. I think this year is too hard to give it to Saquon because of the QB award bias that's already baked into our brains, plus just the year the two quarterbacks at the top are at. Like, it's one of those years where, you know what I mean, wherever quarterback wins MVP, when they have the little documentary about them, this year will be talked about for at least 15 minutes. Like, it's just unprecedented what those two have been doing. Poor Saquon Barkley. I would take him. It's like the Genty thing. I would take him at plus 2K if I had, like, the little $10, throw it on there, 10 for 200. But I just, like, I would love for the committee to take a stand and be like, we want to change this award. But, I mean, looking at who's on the fucking list, I mean, we don't see any Jamar Chase on there. Like, there's no precedent changing anytime soon, which is just so fucking stupid. But
quarterback award will continue to stand most likely.
So crazy, bro.
And just going off the point again, I mean, if there was ever a year,
Jared Goff's on there, dude.
We were pleading
Goff's on there, dude. Jared Goff is on the fucking list.
We were pleading for CMC last year, and what's been said multiple times on this show is that Saquon blew that out of the water. So why is there not even more continued pressure on why Saquon and a running back should get this award this year? I don't know what more you have to do.
What is Jared Goff doing up there? Genuinely, what is he doing up there? What is he up to? Is he the most valuable in his offense? Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they're both arguably more valuable than that. We got to change this precedent, man. You know what I'm saying?
Which then opens up the conversation for the NFL Offensive Player of the Year, which Saquon Barkley is favored by a large margin at minus 5,000. You assume that because he doesn't get MVP, so he gets Offensive Player of the Year. Okay. Like, CMC got that last year. We remember that. Okay. Derrick Henry's in there as well at plus 2,000, then plus 2,500 Jamar Chase. That one is just you brush over that one. I like, even though that's amazing, you got Offensive Player of the Year. I treat it as a loss because you should have got MVP. And again, we said this with CMC last year.
Yeah.
And then to the Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt minus 130, Pat Surtain plus 150, Myles Garrett plus 950.
Wow. Future Eagle Myles Garrett right there.
Let's chill. Do you feel that there's a way?
One of your linemen tweeted out that he thinks he's gonna be playing against him next year.
Do you believe that Surtain has a shot here?
He probably does, but they love TJ.
I know. It's usually the
they
TJ.
Love TJ. They love sacks.
It's usually the TJ Garrett
sacks numbers. Sacks numbers get so high, they start falling in love with it and shit. It's hard to see what a corner really does to a defense. You know what I'm saying?
And then the Offensive Rookie of the Year doesn't have to be spoken about. Jaden Daniels minus 1,000. Bo Nix plus 5,000. Brock Bowers in there. Shout out Brock Bowers plus 3,000.
You should win this. Nah, probably not. I just seen what Jaden Daniels, but it should be closer, bro. This should look like it. The Offensive Rookie of the Year odds should look like the fucking MVP odds. It should be Jaden Daniels minus 300 and fucking Brock Bowers like plus 240.
Raiders with a quarterback.
Isn't that good?
Raiders with a quarterback in this draft, and Pete Carroll. What the season Brock Bowers may have next year.
Yeah, Pete Carroll has his old ass.
Rookie quarterback, Pete Carroll.
Is he okay, bro? Is Pete Carroll okay? Do you think he just sat in his crib and was just so fucking bored? Like, you're 70, what is he, 73?
I think it's either 71, 72,
like,
73,
you really
something like
are
that.
somebody pop. Like, old as shit. Like, you old as shit.
Bill
like,
Belichick's up there too.
Yeah, I mean, he's crazy. But there's also a theory I have about. I think he's getting some, like, he's fucking with a young chick. He's getting some Gen Z language in his head. He's probably watching some TikTok.
He's trying to stay young.
He's watching some TikTok.
He's on the McAfee
He's probably
show.
getting TikTok sent to him. He's on a McAfee show and shit. You know, I've seen him on an IG, not his post. I've seen him on IG post with his shorty. Like, he's trying to come down a little bit. He's probably taking some TRT. Like, Pete, like I don't know. You want to rebuild the Raiders? That's a tall task, brother. Like, that's a tall task.
That is a tall task.
No, I guess. Who's crazier, actually? Bill Belichick or Pete Carroll? Like, Bill, you got to go deal with 19-year-olds getting paid millions of dollars. But Pete's got to deal with rebuilding the most dead franchise in the last, like, God knows how many years. At 70-something years old. And they got to get a rookie quarterback. I think they should just rock out Aiden O'Connell. But that's a personal opinion. I think Aiden O'Connell's okay. But I think they should do that or go get Justin Fields. But, yeah, I think Pete Carroll's fucking nuts, man. I don't know who's crazier. Probably Bill, low-key. Going to deal with NIL. But, yeah. Shout out to Bill, though.
Shout out to Bill and UNC.
Yeah, facts.
The defensive rookie of the year, Jared Verse, minus 1,000. And Quinyon Mitchell at plus 700, who was a big candidate on this show. Shout out the Mooney Gang and the Moonshot Discord with Kilkenny, who did post that prior to the Thursday night game between the Eagles and the Washington Commanders, where Quinyon was up to plus 2,000 on Fanatics. Had that riding for a long time, and then Verse kind of just took that away when there was the lack of interceptions. But
it's just so stupid.
It's
like, that's not how you judge a fucking corner.
I agree.
Like, it's how they're trying to judge Surtain, but that's just not how you judge a corner, bro. It's just so stupid. Like, you watch film on Surtain, like, the fact, I just think that's something that people don't talk about is, like, when you could legit run man to one side of the field on one player and have everyone else DB-wise on the other side of the field play a whole different coverage, and then the safety that's on Surtain's side doesn't have to worry about him, just does so much for a back end. But yeah, the corners will never get respect. They have to get like 8 fucking picks, 2 touchdowns, 4 strong. Like, it's just ridiculous, bro. Shout out to Jared Verse, though. Jared Verse is like actual generational. I'm pretty sure he ran for fucking 22 miles per hour on a scoop and score. Like, that guy. That guy. You know what's funny about guys like Jared Verse? Like, the DNs that like run 22 miles per hour. Like, I think about TJ Watt is in that fucking book for me. I'm thinking like Nolan Smith has that build. Quay Walker has that build. Like, how good were these guys? Like, Zach Bond has a build. Fucking Fred Warner. How good were these guys playing Pee Wee football? Like, you're bigger than everyone else, but you're just as athletic. So I know you're playing running back Pee Wee. Huge, fast, tough as fuck. Like, their Pee Wee highlights are probably fucking insane, bro.
I think arguably the most controversial award this season is the comeback player of the year, with Joe Burrow leading that charge at minus 4,000, and then in second there, Sam Darnold plus 230. This one just goes to question what you're coming back from. If you remember back months ago when Manny was talking about it with Sam Darnold at plus 230, Sam Darnold coming back from basically his nothing.
I will be playing in Canada soon.
That's I'm a backup. I was backup for Brock Purdy the year prior.
Third fucking string at one point in Carolina. That is, Jesus.
Finds his way to Minnesota.
That is low, man.
Where J.J. McCarthy goes down before the season. He's named the starter. They start with a big win against the Giants in MetLife, and it leads to a 14-3 season. Joe Burrow, we know what he's capable of. He's been a starter. He's come back from a bunch of injuries in this league. I think even though Joe Burrow has had a MVP caliber season, I think you give the comeback player of the year to Sam Darnold.
Yeah. And I think
but it's just not going to happen.
The thing that's funny about my comeback player of the year perspective is like, okay, so like in my world, right? Because it's not my world that's getting voted on, but in my world, it would 1,000% be Sam Darnold. Okay. But then if we go by the criteria, right, of like they want it to be someone who's come back from injury, I guess primarily, right? And I guess Joe Burrow has had an insane year. Like, what I'm just going to say sounded a little bit insane. But then at that point, why would it be DeMar Hamlin? Because I think the only reason that J.K. Dobbins is not getting it, because when J.K. Dobbins wasn't dealing with injury problems later in the year, or whatever point in the year he was dealing with injury problems, he was around like, he was getting very low, bro. Because I put that fucking future in when he was in it. And when I put the future in, I'm pretty sure he was around 4 or plus 300. He was low, bro. Like, he was lower than Sam Darnold. And I think it's because he's come back from all those injuries and he was still playing every game, being massively productive. Damar Hamlin, I think he might have missed something. I don't know if he put the concussion cap on because he had a concussion this year or not. I'm my fault for missing that. But he's been insane this year. Crazy production for someone that when he dealt with what he dealt with, people were literally going like, who is this? And you know what's funny? The way even the Bills had like responded to what happened to him. You could tell, like, from the outside looking in, it's like, okay, this guy's either like a really important locker room guy, or they just know he's really fucking good and just 1 or 2 years away. Did anyone how much did you talk about Travis Kelce in that Bills game? You know what I'm saying? How much did you talk about Mark Andrews before the drops in the fucking Ravens game? Who forced the fumble on the fucking Lamar Jackson bobble snap? Like, you know, like, he's made so many plays for the Bills in the playoffs, and then this year in general, where I think obviously, I don't think anyone's going to agree with me on this point than Bills Mafia, but I don't want to say like by the NFL's criteria, he probably isn't more deserving than Joe Burrow just because of how great of a year Joe Burrow has had, and then on top of it, it was his right wrist that was fucked up. So like, you get some grace from me from that, Joe. Legit, it probably was hard to come back from this. Your offseason was probably fucked, but I'm just thinking about Damar Hamlin, bro. Like, it's not much harder to come back from anything like that. Like, I don't know, bro. I would give DeMarcus Hamlin a lot of love, bro.
And why? I think
coming back from fucking dying, bro.
I think his biggest.
Are we serious?
His biggest chance was last year, and that, you know, Joe Flacco was the taker of that.
Right.
From his.
But he wasn't having my thing is he wasn't having as good of a year.
Absolutely.
Like, he was one of their best defensive players. Like, I don't know. It's just whatever.
Especially from the defensive guys that they lost this year too.
Absolutely. No one thought they had a shot to have a fucking safety in the back end.
And then to the coach of the year, Kevin O'Connell minus 1,000.
Yeah, it's over.
With the 14-3 season for the Vikings. There's Dan Campbell at plus 575 and Andy Reid at plus 750. Dan Quinn's in there at plus 1,500. I think there's a big possibility for that as well. Don't sleep on Dan Quinn, and obviously the huge turnaround from 3-14 to getting to the NFC Championship this year for the Washington Commanders. Obviously, this is not based on playoff success. But, yeah, it's going to be Kevin O'Connell and the season that the Vikings had where a lot of people were sleeping on them, especially myself, after calling them a 3-0 fraudulent team and then winning 14 games, going 14-3. So good season for the Vikings, good season for Kevin O'Connell. Upset to end the year in Week 18 and then end up losing to the Rams. But that was my best bet of the year was Rams money line there, plus money there.
I was taking a piss, and that the Damar Hamlin shit has pissed me off even more. Like, bro, in the day and age where they like, I don't think they actually do this, but there's a narrative that they give out pity awards. You know, when Embiid got his MVP, was a pity award. There's gonna be people that when Josh Allen gets an MVP, they're gonna say it's a pity award because Lamar had a better year. In the era of the pity award, why don't we give it to the guy that fucking died on the football field, came back and is legit I would think, at least in the playoff run, was a top 3 player on that defense. I feel like him not being anywhere near Joe Burrow in the odds, maybe I think I have DB bias. I think I have bad DB bias as a DB, but wow, bro.
It's a justifiable point from how he played this season.
Unbelievable. Like, from what he came back from this fast. And I'm going to go on a little side tangent, but like it's comparable to what I see fucking Bronny going through. Like, Bronny, oh man. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say for some reason. It's not for some reason, but I think people were a little shocked at like what happens when you fucking almost lose your life on the field of play, and it takes you a little bit to come back. It takes you a year or two, bro. And then like to me, it's no surprise, but I feel like you should be getting a little more credit, man. This motherfucker died on a football field and is still playing football at like safety. He's coming downhill, willingly taking on Derrick Henry. And he almost died out there. Like, you feel me, bro? Like, I feel like he should get some more love, bro. I don't know, man. I don't care if it didn't happen last year, bro. I feel like it should be. If we give it out pity awards, bro, I feel like he should just get one by default. Like, here. Matter of fact, here, bro.
That is what they were calling it, like the pity award.
I don't agree with it, but if I'm wrong about that, if my perspective is wrong and it's actually pity awards getting handed out, he should have fucking 5 of them motherfuckers. Defensive player of the year, fucking comeback player of the year, fucking man of the year, fucking goddamn. Shout out to you, DeMar. We got you, bro.
Receiving props in the Super Bowl, Travis Kelce at 60.5, AJ Brown at 70.5. We know that this is big for Travis Kelce in the immense amount of Super Bowls that him and Patrick Mahomes have been in. And
bro, we got beef right now, man.
This line, he's hit in 3 of the 4 Super Bowls he's in with 6 or more catches in every one. His highest was 133. 6 catches on 6 targets for 81 yards and a touchdown in the Super Bowl versus the Eagles in 2023. They strategically put this line in there too for player total receptions. Travis Kelce over 6.5 at plus 128.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere near Travis Kelce props, but that guy's fucking ass. At least when I bet on him, he is fucking god awful. Like, I've never seen a player. I'm pretty sure. What week? Was it the Texans game? I think it was the Texans game. He had a game before that, a couple weeks ago, where he had like 130. Looked like prime Kelce coming back, playoffs ramping up. We doing our thing. And I swear, every time I bet on Travis Kelce, he looks like, you know that Snickers commercial where it's like the old motherfuckers before they eat the Snickers? He looks like them. Running, getting tackled, getting up all slow, like dropping balls, getting up all slow, punching the ground. Anytime I bet on this motherfucker, he legit turns into a fucking, I was going to say Flintstone, but they're not even old. Like, he just turns into an old fart when I bet on this fucker. I'm going nowhere. Yo, if you bet on Travis Kelce, bro.
At least in the Super Bowl, Travis Kelce is a huge help to Patrick Mahomes.
You would think.
It has to be.
No.
60.5 has to be.
You would only, like a normal sentient human being, when they look at this game and see props, you would have to look at Travis Kelce, right? But I'm just saying, when I fucking do it, you know what I mean? I'm just going to let everyone enjoy the game. Because when I do it, he turns into an old fart. 1,000%. Even in the game, like oh my God, I didn't. No, I had him in the fucking Bills game. In the 60 yards. You would think, we're playing the Bills. We've had this matchup so many fucking times. He's done well versus fucking Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. So DeMar Hamlin should be no problem. I'm not saying DeMar Hamlin, but he ain't no fucking Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde yet. And he gets locked the fuck down. My fault for betting on you, gang. I don't know. The week prior or something like that. You can't. No, bro. I can't fuck with him, bro. He's garbage to me, bro. I took him out of the trash that after that Texans game, bro. He dead to me, and I hope he fucking retires too, so I don't have to deal with this shit. Because you gotta bet on Travis Kelce, bro. You have to think. You have to. You know what I'm saying? So now I have to fight this fucking battle every time.
He will be a lay piece for me. I don't know if I'm gonna be I end up taking the 60.5, 50 alternate is probably where I will go for any lay piece with Travis Kelce, and I may just do the 60.5 just because. 3 out of the 4 Super Bowls he's been in, he's gotten this line.
Yeah, the
lowest he got was 41.
I mean, surely.
So he's close to getting that.
I think it's why surely he should get 60 fucking yards. But I just know for a fact if I fucking hit that button, bro.
AJ Brown is 70.5.
It's another one.
At his line, and his reception total is 4.5, and the over 4.5 receptions is minus 168. So if he's getting 5 catches. Do we think he can get 70.5 yards, or does he have to get 7 catches to get 71 yards?
I think like the AJ thing is getting. Why is Smitty's line getting nuked so? Like, I'm literally looking at the shit a couple hours ago, and it's 49.5.
49.5 now.
I should have just fucking.
But like, what I would
not
say,
to get off topic. I'm sorry. I just saw that. The thing with AJ Brown that scares me with taking his props is that you're getting to 70.5. We're gonna need a big play. You think it's coming, but what if it just turns into like I said about Spags, he loves putting 7 in the box, 6 in the box. Like, what if it just turns into fucking the Saquon show? With his line being that high, I like his receptions though. If you want to put it in a parlay, but something about I feel like it needs to be a big AJ Brown spot again. Hitting put at 90 yards, 100 yards, definitely again. But I don't know why something scaring me when I'm looking at AJ Brown. I'm looking at the other Batman. Like, I might need to take you.
But where I'm going for that is. If we're going based off the stat that since 2019 playoffs, the Chiefs have not allowed a 100-yard rusher, then it's got to be a game mainly or partially, if you want to say partially, through the air, which would then lead to A.J. Brown for a big game, Devontae Smith for a big game, Dallas Goedert for a big game.
I like Smitty and Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert, I think, what's his receptions line? Because he's seeing
Dallas Goedert receptions are over 4.5 at -138.
Yeah, like they know what they're doing. Like, because I'm pretty sure he's gotten at least 4 targets in every single game, at least 4 or 5 catches in every single game. He's actually been more productive with his yards because I think we're doing a lot of things. Like, you've seen the long pass he got, or not the long run after catch he got versus Green Bay. A lot of the quick game and letting him do what he does after the catch, because there's very few tight ends that are harder to tackle than Dallas Goedert. Just his mix of athleticism and fucking just wanting to literally run you the fuck over, and how fast he is. Like, if you're a DB, seeing that run at you, you're making a lot of business decisions. Dallas Goedert could be a good look. I like him, and I like Smitty. Smitty, I don't know if you saw the fucking stat that was posted, but he's the all-time leading yards per game guy versus the Chiefs. All time. Like, 100, I think it was 137 yards per game he averaged versus the Chiefs, which was the most all-time per 3 games. I think in the Super Bowl he had $1 something. I think in that game at Arrowhead, that was 2 years ago at this point, or last year, he had like 98 and a tud. Didn't know Smitty was a Chiefs Reaper. I was already thinking about taking him before that, but after seeing that, bro, I think I'm gonna have to take some Smitty. And at least I think his receptions at 5.5 is plus money, which I think is egregious.
4.5 at +104.
Yeah, that's egregious. So that, if I'm taking anything, I would take Smitty receptions, because I think that's actually egregious. Alabama mate, probably a little bit like, I think their relationship's a little more like unspoken, very calm. I know what we're getting from each other. Like, I think they have a lot of weird psychopathic chemistry. Notice in games, like, there'll be games where AJ's not getting the ball at all, but there's always in those games, there's always like a steady, and he might not catch a 4.5 of this, but like there'll be games where AJ legit has 1 fucking catch for 12 yards and like 3 targets. Like, Smitty will still have 4 catches, 45 yards.
That was the Green Bay Packers game.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's been multiple times this year where AJ's been absent, but for some reason, even if and Jalen Hurts can have legit 115 yards passing, but for some reason, Smitty still has 4 catches for fucking 40 yards. With that being said, on top of what you said about this game, you have to like focus on Saquon Barkley at some, you know what I mean? So 4.5 for Smitty? That feels insanely low for plus money. I think that might be my favorite look on the board. No cap.
I think Devontae Smith yards over 49.5 maybe my favorite. You have 4 or more targets in the last 8 games, and I like this one a lot. 6 20 or more yard catches in the last 8 games. If you need 50 yards, and in the last 8 games you're getting 20 or more in one play, we can get to 50, surely, right? Mm-hmm. So I like that a lot. I think, if in a game where you have to focus on Saquon, but then if you open it up a little bit, then you're going to go to AJ. But even if it's just, a 6-yard out route that turns into reaching down the pylon and we get a 10-yard gain right there, we only need a couple more of those to go. I think Smitty's going to be a good target for Jalen Hurts in this game. And obviously I really like that number with being the Chiefs killer.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think it was legit 140 yards per game versus Chiefs, which is insane.
DeAndre Hopkins is yards over 11.5 is -110. 32 years of age, +600 to score a touchdown. Probably the first and last Super Bowl we'll see him in.
Last.
I don't know how much more we got of DeAndre Hopkins.
Shit, you go with Pat Mahomes, boy. He might have burnt that boy 5 more years in the tank.
He was talking, DeAndre Hopkins was talking to the media in opening night on Monday, and they asked him about his outfits for Sunday. And he said before his dad passed that he gave him this jacket. And he said, wear it for your wedding or when you make the Super Bowl. There is a narrative that keeps finding a way to climb for DeAndre Hopkins in this game.
Facts.
I have a large feeling that he can get 12 yards in his first Super Bowl. And I do like the value of +600 to score. It was +500 this morning. We're up to 600. It was 650. We're getting back to that 650. I'm really liking that value at 600 to score a touchdown for DeAndre Hopkins as well. And then the one that I'm probably going to be fading the most, I'm not saying I'm taking the under, but I'm not saying I'm taking the over. I'm just probably not even going to touch it, is Hollywood Brown, 40.5.
Really?
I don't know. I don't. If anything, if I'm a Chief, if I'm betting Chiefs receivers, I'm betting Kelsey. I'm betting Worthy. and I'm betting DeAndre Hopkins.
I feel like in this matchup with the Eagles, you want to attack the slot. Like, that's where I feel like I think anyone on the Chiefs can have success. But really, I'm looking at Marquise Brown and Juju Smith. I'm not going to bet them, but especially seeing Juju's production versus the Bills, it was a lot of shit out of the slot, yards after the catch. Marquise Brown is obviously way faster than Juju. He beats Cooper DeJean in one step out the slot. That could legit turn into the overhit in one play. I think those slot guys, it might be a theme, bro. I think, especially watching the Bills game, when Xavier goes in motion, when Travis goes in motion, notice like what the whole defense does. Like, they are very, very alert anytime Xavier Worthy or Travis Kelce moves, and that opens up a lot of their game to Juju. That's why Juju had that big game to D-Hop and to Hollywood Brown. I honestly think it's gonna be one of those three that have the Birds killer game. I honestly think if it's like, I don't think we're gonna let Travis beat us, especially with C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the back end, too good of a cover guy. I don't think we'll let Xavier Worthy beat us. I think they'll just have a lot of attention on him because he moves around so much, and then we can both sides of the ball. Quinyon or Dallas or Darius Slay aren't really moving with anyone, so he'll see a tough matchup no matter where he goes. I think it opens up a slot for either Hollywood, Juju, or Hop to have a big game. Like, you could all hop up to some crazy shit. I'm pretty sure you can get him for fucking 50 yards and fucking crazy odds. But I think the first other I kind of like. I mean, like, Sky Moore gave us fucking problems in the Super Bowl. Like, I think those type of players in this matchup are very, very high value. I think D-Hop, Hollywood, or Juju, I don't think you can go wrong with either, but I think they're all very, very high value.
Yeah, I mean, you have Juju Smith-Schuster for 50 yards is plus 670. DeAndre Hopkins for 50 yards is plus 980.
What's Hollywood 50 is probably like plus one something.
Hollywood for 50s plus 146.
Yeah, like 60 for plus 230. Like, I feel like it's got to be one of the others. Unless Xavier
there's a lot of value there for alternate. And then, I mean, even just going off of your point of Devontae Smith being the Chiefs killer, most receiving yards in the Super Bowl, Devontae Smith is plus 550.
Yeah, bro.
And he's behind Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce, and A.J. Brown.
That's a good look. I'm pretty sure he might have been the leader in the game we lost. No cap. Unless it was A.J. Brown. But I think it might have been Smitty, bro. Yeah, that's probably a good look. Like I said, like with the Hurts most passing yards, fucking Smitty most receiving yards. Guarantee, bro. Guarantee. We don't give out locks to the show ever, but that's the closest thing. It's like, nah.
And then at least just looking at some of these receivers to get in the end zone, I just have to go back to my point from last week, the fact that the top four guys just can't be the guys that score.
Why not?
I don't mean like, okay, maybe all of them do, but there's got to be somebody outside the top four that does. Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt, Xavier Worthy are top five. Then there's A.J. Brown and then Devontae Smith. So it just got to be somebody out of the ordinary that we're not thinking. DeAndre Hopkins plus 600. Noah Gray plus 550. Sky Moore scored in the touchdown. Right? Like, I'm just talking about
a great game.
Guys from, like, situations like that where it can't just be the favorites to score. I mean, Juju's plus 550. We already spoke about Mahomes last week at plus 400.
I like D-Hop. I don't know if D-Hop will hit his line. Like, it's one of them things where I don't know if D-Hop's going to hit his lines, but I have a weird, I
have a weird feeling DeAndre Hopkins can get 12 yards and catch
nah,
bro.
Like, you can get 12 yards. I'm just saying, I just really see him scoring on like a fucking just a 3-yard slant.
I was gonna say 4 yard, maybe bro. Back shoulder.
Like, and it'd be one of those fucking weird ass games where you have like 2 receptions for like 8 yards. One's like a bubble screen, and then one's but I really, for some reason, bro, I have a weird fucking feeling this guy scores. I don't know why, and if I don't take it, it's gonna fucking bother me. But for the Eagles, I think I'm gonna take, and this might be a wild strategy, but I think if you take AJ, Smitty, and Dallas, if you're an Eagles fan, I think like. You would break even there, I think.
Yeah, because AJ Brown's plus 175.
I mean, you probably lose a little bit of money if you only get AJ.
Devontae's plus 230, and then Dallas Goedert's plus 320.
Yeah, so you would lose like $10, $20 depending on what you put in it if you take off 3 of them and only AJ scores. But I think you can at least get 2 of those guys through the window.
I think there's
that's the only reason why
great
I'm saying
value on Devontae Smith. He might be one of my favorite TD scores.
I think you could see
plus
both.
230.
I think you could see both the receivers score, but I think taking AJ Smitty and Dallas is a good insurance policy. Like, I think 2 of those guys get through the fucking line, bro.
I like Devontae and DeAndre plus 1838.
That is degenerate. That's fine now. That's degenerate.
Plus 600 DeAndre Hopkins, plus 230 Devontae Smith. Parlay it for a little over plus 1800. And like you see Saquon's minus 190. Jalen Hurts is minus 115. Kelsey's plus 125. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I don't think Kelsey's plus 125 is bad, though. I think that's not a bad bet.
I'm going to be taking that because if the Chiefs are going to win this game, Kelsey's got to have his over of 60.5.
Maybe.
He's got to score.
I'm like, bro, I don't think people are like I know it's in a dome, but I don't think people are really looking into the fact that both these teams, like, it's my term, I say it a lot, they play a lot of swamp football, bro. Like, these teams, like, the Birds can do it, and they know they can do it, and they like showing they can do it. They can outscore anybody, but both these teams love taking you down to the fucking swamp, bro. Let's run the ball. Let our interior D-line fucking dominate the game. Like, I hope and I pray, and I think it's very much possible, especially because we're in the dome too. These two teams matched up again. We could get another 30-30 game, 20-20 game. I think also, like, the 16-20s in the cards here. Like, the Saquon show, ball control. That's where, like, some of these with the Kelsey props and the AJ prop, I get weird because I'm asking for a lot. And it's like, y'all could have a very productive in a game like this, the way it could go. You guys could have a very productive 50 yards. Like, Kelsey could have a very productive 40 yards on, like, third downs and shit like that. I'm not so sold that this is going to be a high-scoring over, a lot of people scoring. Like, that's why when I was talking about the Eagles scores, I'm like, if you get 1, you probably still don't prop, which is scary. I think you get 2, but, like, it might be one of them games, bro. Spags versus us. Like, it might be, and we want to run the ball. I think that's very much in the cards. That's why I kind of like Smitty. That D-Hop look I like, to where, like, you could sneak him in there. Even for him, for the 11.5 yards, you could sneak him in there. I have a weird, I don't know if I would bet the over in this game.
Which is sitting at 48.5.
Yeah, I don't know if I would bet the over. And it's one of those things that probably, if it hit, it would hit, like, later in the game.
And it was 38-35 in 2023.
Mm-hmm. I mean, think about, when the Chiefs played the fucking Niners, that was 19? Like, 19 got us to fucking OT, I think it was, or 16, or I think it might have been 16-16. Like, it's a similar matchup, which I think, like, the Niners could score with anybody. They came back down from 14-0, 17-7 in the NFC Championship game. The Chiefs could have scored with anybody last year. But I think when those two match up against each other, it just gets real swampy, bro. It gets real ball control. The pads start popping. We got guys on the outside that could really cover. Vic Fangio and Spags, like, fuck, bro. Just the possibility of it being a swamp is not out of the cards for me. It could legit be 23-20 or some shit like that. 19-16, 17-14 for me is not out of the cards. Like, it could be a real. People have been saying that. I think people don't want this matchup. Obviously, they hate the Chiefs and they hate the Eagles. But honestly, out of all the 4 matches we could have got, I think this bodes the low scoring route the easiest. Like Bills Eagles could probably even be more high scoring. Like a Chiefs fucking Commanders, we knew that would have been more high scoring. Like, I see why people weren't really trying to watch this, because when I look at this game more, I'm like, this could become a swamp.
For sure, but I just can't see I can't see the Eagles only scoring 2 touchdowns.
I would hope to.
With this roster, they got to be able to put up more points than that.
I would think the same, bro. I would think the same. When we put up fucking 20-something in the snow, in the fucking blizzard. You know what I'm saying? I would think so. I'm just saying this matchup, it could definitely get weird, man.
The Eagles are plus 102 on the money line, with the Chiefs minus 120. Game picks coming later this week as we get closer and closer to the Super Bowl. I still have not made my official decision. It's going to be by the end of this week, by the last show this week coming on Thursday, will be the prediction for the show. I am going to bring a point total for this game as well. It's the last time to do it, so might as well throw all the cards on the table for the last game of the season before we head into more NBA player props and college basketball, as March Madness is just about a month and a half away. If you did watch this episode on YouTube, make sure to drop a like, comment. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Apple Podcasts and Spotify listeners, scroll to the bottom and give us those ratings. They help us a long, long way as we head into college basketball. The Super Bowl and Radio Row is going hot. this week. We'll see you by the end of this week for game picks. Alex Jacobs, Manny Ruffin, all day bets. Eagles are plus 102, man. That bet is going to be crazy for Eagles fans.
You could tease them. I'm probably going to tease them up to 7.5, and then I would probably just take it over for the fuck of it. But that shit is not hitting. Like, I don't know why I don't think the over is just not hitting, bro.
Plus 1.5 Chiefs in, like, you know, low scoring games back and forth. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I really don't.
Yeah. If I wasn't an Eagles fan, what would I do here?